Hello all, welcome back to the testingtools.co channel. In the previous video, we have seen that how you can basically add multiple items without changing later in the future. You don't have to change the code, even if you have to change the number of items to be added to the cart, right? So what we will do now is, we have done the iteration on the child sheet, that is the item sheet, but now we have to see how we can change the code in such a way that based on number of users present in the parent sheet, the entire script should run multiple times. Okay, so that is the code we will see now. But before that, we are putting a lot of efforts in doing these knowledge sharing videos. If you think we are adding value to you, please hit that like button, and then if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so that the next video that comes in, you will not miss it and you will receive a notification. Also, please share with others who are interested to learn knowledge on Java Selenium and want to become automation engineers, right? They want to start their career or switch their career, whatever. And one more request is, please watch end to end, because there are important points discussed across the video. We don't want you to miss any of those points, because those can be sometimes an important interview questions also, right? And you should also learn those. And when they interview, they will understand that, okay, you have real-time experience because of that only. So basically, they believe that you actually worked in real-time projects. So please make sure you see each and every part of the video. Now, for now, what I will do is, I will put the same username and password right now. Okay. But you will see that when we run this second record in the entire script, and in the first iteration it will add Srinivas and Potnuru, but in the second iteration it will add Vinila and Bogi. Also in the first iteration it will add only 2 items, and in the second iteration it will add only 1 item. So let's get into the code and see what kind of changes we have to do. So here what is happening is, we have assumed that only 1 row will be there in the parent record. That is why we have hard coded the row number, and then we have done all these things, right? So what you will do is, now the entire script has to run multiple times. Here we have done for loop only for the adding item to the cart, but now we should have a iteration for the number of records in sheet 1 also. Okay, so let's go back and then see how we can do. So as we added a for loop here, we will add another for loop for the parent thing. So now we will say in the parent sheet row count. So once we set the sheet 1, we will get the row count also. Get row count. Now for int I equal to 0, or let's say row equal to 0, row less than parent sheet row count, row plus plus. So now this entire code should go into this particular for loop. Okay. So we need to make sure that what is the entire part that you want to run multiple times, right? So this is a single test. So I don't want this end test and flush to happen for every iteration. I want to do it at the end of the execution of all the records in the parent. Okay. So first of all, we'll take code from here. To here, entire thing we will put inside the for loop. Okay, now what happened? Everything is inside the parent for loop, and we are actually closing the Excel file before itself. Let's do it outside, because we are still getting the data for each iteration. Earlier it was only 1 iteration, so we have closed it earlier itself. But now what happens is, after finishing the first iteration, it has to again go to the Excel file and get the data. So we will close it later only, not before. Okay. Now we have done browser.quit. So at the end of the first iteration, that is the first parent record, like once we finish this parent record, we are actually closing the browser. Okay. So which means for the second iteration, you have to launch the browser again, right? So that's why what we will do, we will do this also inside the for loop. Okay. So which means that launching the browser and closing the browser happens for each iteration. That means it's a proper end-to-end, right? So you open the browser, you navigate, you do the actions, you close the browser for first parent record. Now for the second parent record, it will again launch the browser and then navigate to the URL and then again set the new set of username and password and then add the items relevant to that particular parent record and then continues. It happens until the number of records present in the parent sheet. Okay. So first thing here we have to see is, okay, we got the row number, we have hard coded it. Now it becomes row plus 1. So this loop should run for multiple parent records. That is why it is running on row, and this particular row number always starts from 1, right? When we are doing this for the row count, okay, you can actually do it from 1 is equal to row less than equal to. You can do that also, and you don't have to add plus 1 here. So row is starting from 1, and then you're getting these details. This is fine, and then you are creating items, and then you're shifting to Excel sheet 2, right? So now what happens is you have moved to sheet 2 and then you added the items, you finish the entire thing, and then you quit the browser. After this, the for loop ends here and it will again go up, right? But now remember, in the for loop, now we are in sheet 2, not sheet 1, because that is what has happened after some time, right? So what you have to do, you have to also set the sheet in the for loop. Okay. Here also you should do, because you should get the row count. And here also you should do, because inside the code we are moving from sheet 1 to sheet 2, right? So because we have to again get the second row from the parent sheet, I have to set my Excel focus back to sheet 1, right? Only then I'll get the data from sheet 1. And that is why we are again setting the sheet in the for loop also. Otherwise the script will fail. Okay, I think this is it. Now it should work for multiple records in the parent sheet. So this is my parent sheet. It is having 2 users. Here we don't have another user. I mean, I didn't check. But the idea is you will understand when we see the first name and last name that is being entered. Now, so let us execute now and then see. So I am first closing this. And we have made all the changes here based on the parent records also. So we have added one more for loop to run the entire script, right? Multiple times based on number of records present in the first parent sheet. Okay. Now let us execute. See, nobody explains all these things in the other, even the training sessions or in the, see here, Srinivas Putnuru, it closed the browser. Now it should launch another browser, which is for the second iteration. It has launched. It has entered and it added only one item, and it is adding vanilla bogey here, and it has checked out. So what happened here? For the 2 parent records, it has executed. It has launched the browser 2 times. It has got the records from each parent record. Based on each parent record, it picked the exact number of items to be added to cart. So if you observed carefully in the video, you can go back and see, pause the video and see that for the first user it said Srinivas Putnuru and added 2 items, because there are 2 items based on first. I opened the Excel file again. Let's see. So for the first record, there were 2 items. So it added 2 items. You can go and check in the video. For the second record, it added only 1 item. Okay. Also, the names were given differently based on the iteration that has been done. Okay. So that is how you make changes in the code, so that multiple number of parent records can also be used, and with respect to each parent record, whatever are the number of child records, only those will be picked up and those will be used in the script. Okay. So this is how you will do end-to-end scenario automating with Excel file as a external test data, that can be used. So this is how generally we automate in the real-time projects also, and I hope you are having good learning based on the knowledge I'm sharing with you guys. If you really feel so, I would request you to kindly like that video and And then if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, and then make sure that you share with other people who are interested or enthusiastic to learn about Java Selenium and who wants to become automation engineers. Okay. So in the next videos, I'll try to cover some interesting points like what exactly happens in the real-time scenarios, right? So please stay tuned, don't miss, and you won't miss if you actually subscribe and hit that bell icon. Okay. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.